So when we think about irrational food thoughts, the body image ideal, and health anxiety, they really contribute to reducing our food variety. If someone's following any three of these ways that OCD gets stuck, they're able to significantly reduce the variety of foods. Maybe at one point in their life they had a nice robust diet with a lot of different types of foods. And now we're seeing where maybe they can only eat like 1 to 3 safe foods, foods that they feel are good enough for them, that don't contain contaminants and are good enough for their body. And when they're having such a reduced varied intake, we see that overall their daily caloric volume is significantly reduced. So maybe they were able to meet their nutritional needs before this really grew onset, and now they're falling way short of it, maybe not even meeting half of their daily nutritional needs. And when this occurs, especially in adolescence, we see a significant weight loss. With children in particular who have OCD and a comorbidity with eating disorders or any type of disordered eating, we do see that they fall off their pediatric growth charts quite significantly, many times. And the rapid weight loss is really discouraging because when we think about it, no child should be losing weight that rapidly. Really, we are looking for weight gain or maintenance of weight because we want to get them staying on their growth trajectory, physically, mentally, and emotionally. If they have significant weight loss, not only does it produce physical weight loss, but also really impacts their cognitive development as well. And so this is really important. With that said, when they have such significant weight loss, that's where Dr. Kullberg and I would see them, and they would be admitted for treatment of their eating disorders. So we really want to emphasize taking warning signs seriously. Let's say, for example, if your child comes home from school one day and says, "Mom, Dad, it's really important that you never bring white sugar into the house again. I heard in health class it's really bad for you, we just cannot have it." So a child should never be fully eliminating any food group or any type of food. Again, food should be something that's neutral. It's not good or bad, it's something that any type of food we can have in moderation, and every food has a place in our diet. And additionally too, with OCD and compulsions with exercise, we want to give consideration to their ability to control their compulsive exercise behaviors. You know, again, if they're at home and they're able to weight restore appropriately and they're following the rules and being able to gain weight, maybe they don't need to be at a higher level of care. But maybe if they're unable to control their exercise compulsions, for example, Andrea and I were working with a child where she set her alarm clock to 3 a.m. every morning, and then she would go and run for about an hour on her family's treadmill in the basement. And so it really demonstrated that she was unable to be doing that at home, and she needed more containment and support in interrupting her exercise compulsion. So again, this kind of gives you an idea about the different types of care that are appropriate based on what they need. Remember, all foods are good in moderation, and there is no bad and good foods. Foods is just neutral. A multidisciplinary approach and exposure therapy are keys to recovery. It shouldn't be just one treatment provider, and it really should be a family-based treatment approach where you as a parent are also working with the treatment providers too to be a part of that team.
I have a question about, I guess, honoring the values of the child, and I ask this because you mentioned something about going vegetarian or vegan, and I actually went vegetarian when I was 7 years old, and my entire family is omnivorous, and it later turned into veganism, and that was actually really important to me. And I'm 33 now, I'm still vegan, and I'm still grateful to my parents for supporting that, because that's a big part of who I am. And so when I was hearing kind of not allowing that, it kind of was a bummer to me. And I can see where you're going as far as restricting out and restricting entire food groups, but I don't know, there's a lot of ethical decisions that people make as well. So I don't know, I wouldn't want the child to not be able to express their own values, you know?
That's such a good question, and it was definitely something that was not uncommon for us in the treatment to find maybe children who were vegetarian in a family of carnivores or omnivores or wanting to be vegan as well. And so we really would explore that with them too, because we don't want it to feel punitive where all of a sudden, they've been following a vegan lifestyle or vegetarian diet for maybe a few months, and all of a sudden we slap them with a piece of beef on their plate. It could feel pretty punitive for them, and so we were really thoughtful about that too and exploring it. As a dietitian, I would talk with them at great lengths. What's behind this? What made you so curious about being vegetarian or vegan? A lot of times when it is more related to their eating disorder, it would come up pretty quickly, and so we would talk about how, well, right now we really want to focus on providing you with a varied diet, because research shows us that having a more varied and robust diet gives you a better shot at recovery than a narrow diet where you're cutting out food groups. Once you are in recovery, that's fine if you want to be vegetarian or vegan, but for right now that may not be the most relevant because it's allowing you to be in the eating disorder. And so it's something that, again, once they are in recovery, that's fine if they are being supported by their treatment team outside of the treatment facility in an outpatient level of care, and that's okay with them. But I think in that moment when we explore that it is connected, when it is connected with their eating disorder, that we want to do exposures with them and explore with them, what makes chicken or seafood or even beef so scary for you in the context of the eating disorder.